Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and moments of adversity that test our resilience. How we respond to these obstacles often determines our growth and strength. The Stoics, ancient Greek philosophers, believed that setbacks are not barriers, but opportunities for self-improvement and transformation. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This mindset invites us to view adversity not as something to be feared or avoided, but as a catalyst for personal development. The habit of bouncing back stronger every time is central to Stoic philosophy. It emphasizes that setbacks are a natural part of life and should be embraced rather than resisted. The Stoics understood that challenges are not meant to break us, but to build us, creating resilience and fortitude in the process. By learning to respond to setbacks with patience, reflection, and action, we can grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by failures and setbacks. However, adopting the Stoic mindset helps us reframe these experiences, seeing them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to avoid. Through self-awareness, patience, and persistence, we can transform setbacks into stepping stones toward greater success and fulfillment. This habit doesn't guarantee a life free from challenges, but it provides the tools to rise stronger every time. By cultivating resilience, we not only endure difficulties, but thrive despite them. Number 1. Start small, achieve big. The journey to self-improvement and success often begins with the smallest of steps. In a world that glorifies overnight transformations, the Stoic philosophy emphasizes the power of starting small and focusing on incremental progress. The key principle here is that lasting change isn't built through grand, overwhelming efforts, but through consistent, deliberate actions taken one step at a time. The Stoics recognized that greatness isn't achieved through massive leaps, but through daily habits and persistence. They believed that by focusing on what is within our control and taking small, meaningful actions, we can create meaningful change in our lives. Seneca, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, famously said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." This reminds us that it's not the length of time we have that matters, but how we use it. Starting small allows us to build momentum. It's easier to commit to small actions, and as we experience small wins, our confidence grows, making it easier to tackle bigger challenges. For instance, instead of aiming to completely transform your life overnight, whether through fitness, productivity, or personal development, begin with simple, achievable goals. If you want to build a daily exercise routine, start with just 5 minutes of movement. If you want to improve your focus, start by dedicating 10 minutes each day to deep work without distractions. These seemingly insignificant actions accumulate over time, creating profound, lasting results. The key is consistency. The Stoics believed in the power of persistence. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things." This wisdom encourages us to embrace small beginnings, even if they might appear insignificant to others. By taking small steps, we cultivate patience and self-discipline, both of which are essential for long-term success. Moreover, starting small reduces the risk of overwhelm. When we focus on small, manageable goals, we avoid the paralysis that often comes with trying to do too much at once. For example, trying to overhaul your entire diet or lifestyle overnight can lead to burnout, discouragement, and ultimately failure. However, making small, sustainable changes, like swapping one unhealthy snack for a healthier option or committing to one habit change, allows for gradual progress that builds over time. This philosophy isn't about denying ourselves grand ambitions, but rather about recognizing that significant achievements are the result of disciplined, incremental efforts. When we commit to starting small, we also learn to appreciate the process itself. Each small success fuels further motivation, reinforcing the belief that each step forward is a step toward something greater. Practically, one way to apply this Stoic principle is by setting SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals. These goals should be broken down into smaller, manageable tasks. For instance, if you aim to read more books, rather than setting an ambitious goal like read 50 books this year, start by setting a realistic target of reading just 10 pages per day. Over time, this small habit accumulates and becomes a sustainable part of your life. Number 2, master your anxiety before it masters you. Anxiety is a common and often overwhelming part of modern life. The Stoics, however, offered timeless wisdom on how to manage anxiety by shifting our perspective and focusing on what is within our control. For Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, anxiety often stems from our attachment to outcomes, our fear of the unknown, and our tendency to overthink situations beyond our control. The key is not to eliminate anxiety entirely, but to master it, directing our attention away from what we cannot control and focusing on what we can. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This teaching emphasizes that our true strength lies in our ability to control our thoughts and responses, not in trying to control external circumstances. Anxiety often arises from our worries about the future or our tendency to ruminate over past events. However, the Stoics believed that by practicing mindfulness and focusing on the present moment, we could reduce anxiety. One practical way to master anxiety is to differentiate between what is within your control and what isn't. The Stoic concept of amor fati, love of fate, encourages acceptance of life's events, recognizing that many things are outside of our control. When we try to control the uncontrollable, our fears, outcomes, or the opinions of others, we invite unnecessary suffering. Instead, we should focus on the effort we put forth and our responses to life's challenges. Another Stoic practice to manage anxiety is the dichotomy of control. Ask yourself, what can I control right now? Focus on what you can influence, like your thoughts, actions, and attitude. Let go of the rest. This shift helps ground you in the present and reduces the tendency to worry about things beyond your control. Stoics also emphasize the importance of resilience and accepting discomfort. Anxiety often stems from our avoidance of discomfort or uncertainty. The Stoic virtue of endurance teaches us to face challenges with courage and acceptance, acknowledging that discomfort is a natural part of life. By embracing discomfort rather than avoiding it, we strengthen our mental resilience. Lastly, practicing gratitude and reflection can help anchor you to the present. Write down things you're grateful for or reflect on past challenges you've overcome. This shift in perspective can remind you that difficulties are transient and that you've survived before. Mastering your anxiety isn't about eliminating it completely, but learning to respond to it with calm, acceptance, and resilience. The Stoics believed that through disciplined thought and practice, we could regain control over our minds and reduce the grip of anxiety on our lives. By adopting these principles, we can build a mindset that strengthens us to face life's uncertainties with confidence and peace. Number 3, design a routine that works for you. A well-structured routine can be a powerful tool for creating consistency, focus, and productivity. The Stoics valued order and discipline, understanding that a daily rhythm allows us to manage our time effectively, stay grounded, and align our actions with our values. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of memento mori, remembering death, and using each day as an opportunity to live with intention. Designing a routine that reflects your goals and priorities is a crucial step in leading a fulfilling life. The Stoics believed that each day should begin with reflection, intentional action, and a focus on what is within our control. To create a routine that works for you, start by clarifying what truly matters. Ask yourself, what are my values? What are my long-term goals? Once you have a clear understanding of your priorities, you can build a daily structure that supports them. Begin your day with premeditatio malorum, a practice of premeditating potential difficulties. Spend a few moments reflecting on what challenges you might face and how you will respond. By anticipating obstacles and preparing mentally, you reduce the likelihood of being caught off guard by distractions or setbacks. Next, structure your day around the most important tasks that align with your goals. The Stoics valued virtue, doing what is right, and focus, giving full attention to what matters most. Set clear intentions for your day and allocate dedicated time to work on high-priority activities. This could include deep work sessions, focused learning, or meaningful connections with others. Marcus Aurelius also advised, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Apply this to your daily routine by ensuring your actions reflect your values. Create habits that reinforce your commitment to self-improvement and align with your long-term vision. For example, if your goal is to cultivate resilience, incorporate practices like meditation, journaling, or physical exercise that support mental clarity and well-being. Consistency is key. Establishing a predictable daily rhythm helps build momentum and discipline. Start small and gradually increase the complexity of your routine as you become more comfortable. Stick to the habits that serve you and eliminate those that don't contribute to your growth. The Stoics often referred to virtue as moderation, meaning balance in all things. Your routine should not be rigid but adaptable, allowing for flexibility and growth. End your day with reflection and gratitude. Take a few minutes to review what went well, what could be improved, and what lessons you've learned. This practice of reflection helps cultivate contemplation, an essential Stoic practice, and keeps you aligned with your purpose. Number 4, break bad habits. Breaking bad habits is a fundamental part of personal growth and self-improvement. The Stoics understood that our actions and habits shape our character, and any behavior that detracts from virtue must be carefully examined and replaced. Marcus Aurelius taught that external things are not the problem, your judgment about them is. This wisdom reminds us that it's our attachment to unhealthy habits, rather than the habits themselves, that holds us back. To break bad habits, the first step is self-awareness. Take the time to reflect on which habits no longer serve your goals and values. Ask yourself, how do these habits impact my life? Do they align with who I want to become? Identify the triggers that lead to these habits, whether it's stress, boredom, or emotional reactions. By recognizing these patterns, you create the awareness necessary to make a conscious choice to change. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, preparing for potential difficulties. Apply this principle to breaking bad habits by anticipating situations where you might be tempted to indulge in them. For example, if you struggle with procrastination, plan structured work periods where distractions are minimized, such as turning off notifications and creating dedicated workspaces. By preparing for challenges, you reduce the chances of falling into old habits. Another key Stoic practice is living according to nature. Seneca wrote, "If one does not know to which port one is sailing, no wind is favorable." To break bad habits, identify your destination, what you want to achieve, and align your actions with that goal. When you focus on long-term growth rather than short-term pleasure, your motivations shift. making it easier to let go of habits that don't serve you. Instead of merely attempting to eliminate bad habits, focus on replacing them with positive ones. The Stoics emphasized virtue, practicing qualities such as discipline, courage, and self-control. For instance, if you habitually engage in unhealthy eating, replace that with mindful eating and healthier alternatives. Over time, these positive habits will crowd out the old ones. Seneca also advised, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Have the courage to start small. Change doesn't happen overnight, but through consistent small actions, you can create lasting transformation. Each time you resist a temptation, you strengthen your willpower, building resilience and self-mastery. Finally, remember that setbacks are a part of the process. If you relapse into old habits, don't dwell on self-criticism. Instead, use it as an opportunity to reflect and learn. Reassess what went wrong and adjust your approach. The Stoics believed in embracing obstacles as opportunities, turning failures into stepping stones for growth. Breaking bad habits is a journey of self-awareness, discipline, and reflection. By cultivating the Stoic virtues of self-control, perseverance, and courage, you can replace habits that hinder your growth with those that contribute to a life of purpose and fulfillment. Remember, it's not about perfection but progress, one habit at a time. Number 5. Make time for what truly matters. In a world filled with endless distractions and constant demands on our time, the ability to focus on what truly matters has never been more crucial. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, understood that our time is one of our most valuable resources. Make time for what truly matters is more than just a strategy. It's a fundamental principle that can transform your life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This reminds us that while external circumstances may compete for our attention, it is within our control to determine where we allocate our time and energy. To make time for what matters, start by clarifying your values and goals. What truly brings you fulfillment? Is it personal growth, relationships, health, or contributing to something greater than yourself? Once you've identified your priorities, evaluate how much time you currently spend on them. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day noise, checking social media, attending endless meetings, or falling into mindless routines. These distractions often consume time that could be better spent on activities that align with your values. The Stoics practiced memento mori, remembering that life is finite. This awareness prompts us to reflect on how we're using our time. Instead of mindlessly reacting to every external demand, take intentional steps to protect your time. Ask yourself, is this activity aligned with my goals, or is it a distraction? One powerful Stoic exercise is prioritization. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." To make time for what truly matters, start by creating a weekly schedule that reflects your priorities. Block out time for activities that nurture your goals, whether it's focused work, family time, exercise, or self-care. Learn to say no to tasks that don't align with your values, ensuring your energy isn't diluted by trivial matters. Another approach is practicing mindfulness, being fully present in each moment. When we allow ourselves to be distracted, we lose touch with what matters most. By cultivating presence, we can focus on what's right in front of us, whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, pursuing meaningful work, or simply enjoying life's small joys. The Stoics also emphasized detachment, letting go of things that don't contribute to our well-being. This doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities, but recognizing when something isn't worth the cost of our time and energy. By making space for what truly matters, you create more clarity, peace, and fulfillment in your life. In practical terms, start small. Dedicate 15 minutes each day to your top priority. Over time, these small actions add up, leading to greater intentionality and progress. Reflect regularly on how you're spending your time and adjust as needed. Remember, making time for what truly matters isn't about having more hours in the day. It's about using the hours you have wisely. The Stoic mindset teaches us that by focusing on what's essential, we create a life that aligns with our values and brings lasting peace and purpose. So ask yourself today, what truly matters to me and how will I make time for it? Number 6, take on challenges that shape. Your life is full of challenges, and how we respond to them defines who we become. The Stoics believed that embracing difficulties is essential for growth and self-improvement. Take on challenges that shape you is a guiding principle rooted in the idea that adversity isn't something to avoid, but an opportunity to build strength, resilience, and wisdom. Seneca famously said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." This reminds us that challenges are not obstacles to be feared, but chances to develop qualities such as perseverance, courage, and clarity. Every difficult situation offers a lesson, and it's through these lessons that we grow stronger. Taking on challenges forces us out of our comfort zones, forcing us to confront our fears and doubts. It's easy to seek the path of least resistance, but true growth comes from willingly stepping into discomfort. When we do so, we develop virtues that cannot be cultivated in the absence of struggle. For instance, imagine a person faced with a difficult decision, whether to pursue a risky but rewarding opportunity or play it safe. The Stoics would advise embracing the challenge rather than seeking the easier path. By doing so, we build the capacity to endure setbacks, make better decisions, and grow in wisdom. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This philosophy encourages us to view obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones that guide us toward our goals. Every challenge presents a new opportunity to refine our character. To take on challenges that shape you, start by identifying areas of your life where growth is needed. Perhaps it's in your career, relationships, or personal development. Ask yourself, what is the one thing that scares me but could lead to meaningful progress? Embracing this question opens the door to transformation. When you face a challenge, break it down into manageable steps. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are we. Instead of trying to tackle everything at once, focus on one small, actionable step that can move you forward. Whether it's a difficult conversation, a new skill you want to learn, or a risk you want to take, taking small, consistent actions builds momentum over time. The Stoics also practiced premeditation of adversity, the habit of mentally preparing for challenges before they arise. By imagining difficult scenarios and preparing your response, you reduce the fear of uncertainty. This mental framework helps you approach challenges with calmness and confidence. Another way to embrace challenges is to maintain equanimity, the ability to remain composed regardless of the outcome. When we expect failure as part of the process, we are less likely to be discouraged by setbacks. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality," highlighting the importance of maintaining a balanced perspective. In practice, reflect on past challenges that shaped you. How did you grow as a result? Consider how future challenges could serve as opportunities for even greater personal development. The Stoics believed that embracing hardship leads to transformation. Remember, the journey of self-improvement isn't always easy, but it is worth it. By taking on challenges that shape you, you cultivate the resilience, wisdom, and strength necessary to thrive in life. So, when life presents its obstacles, remind yourself that these are the very things that can lead you toward becoming the best version of yourself. Number 7. Surround yourself with people who elevate you. The Stoics understood the profound impact that the people we surround ourselves with have on our lives. Surround yourself with people who elevate you is a powerful habit that emphasizes the importance of cultivating relationships that support your growth, values, and well-being. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This principle highlights how the people around us influence our thoughts, behaviors, and ultimately, our character. If we are surrounded by negative or unsupportive individuals, our mindset and actions are likely to be shaped by their attitudes. Conversely, surrounding ourselves with those who uplift, inspire, and challenge us leads to positive transformation. The Stoics valued community and believed that mutual respect, wisdom, and encouragement were essential for personal development. Seneca advised, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." These wise words remind us that the company we keep can either propel us forward or hold us back. Imagine a person striving to live according to Stoic principles, practicing self-discipline, patience, and resilience. If they are surrounded by individuals who dismiss these values or discourage personal growth, their journey will be much more difficult. However, by surrounding themselves with those who uphold these ideals, they reinforce their own commitment to Stoicism and thrive in their pursuit of virtue. The right people challenge us to expand our horizons, hold us accountable, and celebrate our successes. When we spend time with those who share similar goals or values, we gain perspective, motivation, and a deeper sense of belonging. To cultivate such relationships, begin by identifying the qualities you seek in others. Ask yourself, who inspires me? Who challenges me to grow? Seek out individuals who embody the traits you wish to develop, whether that's wisdom, kindness, or courage. Consider the benefits of having supportive relationships. For example, if you're working on improving your mental clarity or practicing self-mastery, surrounding yourself with people who value mindfulness, self-reflection, and personal growth can reinforce these habits. They offer encouragement and constructive feedback, creating a network that fosters continuous improvement. On the other hand, be mindful of those who drain your energy or discourage your growth. The Stoics taught the importance of limiting exposure to negativity and distractions. Seneca advised, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that surrounding ourselves with toxic or discouraging individuals often leads to self-doubt, anxiety, and a lack of focus. By distancing ourselves from such influences, we create space for healthier, more uplifting connections. Beyond just avoiding negativity, seek people who uplift and inspire. Spend time with mentors, friends, or colleagues who share your values and encourage your personal development. Their wisdom, encouragement, and example will help you grow and stay committed to your goals. To strengthen this habit, reflect on your current circle of friends, family, and colleagues. Ask yourself, do they inspire me to be better? If not, consider making small changes, whether through new relationships, boundaries, or by fostering deeper connections with those who uplift and challenge you. In Stoicism, self-improvement is a collective endeavor. By surrounding yourself with people who elevate you, you create a supportive environment that enhances your pursuit of wisdom, virtue, and resilience. So, choose your company wisely and let their influence inspire you to become the best version of yourself. Number 8. Embrace change as a catalyst for growth. Change is a constant in life, and the Stoics teach us to accept it not as a threat, but as a catalyst for growth. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, said, "It is not events themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about them." This underscores the importance of how we perceive and respond to change, rather than resisting it. Many people fear change because it brings uncertainty and discomfort. However, the Stoics view change as an essential part of life's natural flow, one that allows us to adapt, grow, and evolve. Instead of clinging to the familiar, they encourage us to view change as an opportunity for self-improvement and the pursuit of virtue. When we encounter change, we are often faced with challenges that force us to confront our limitations and expand our understanding. It's through these moments of uncertainty that we develop resilience, wisdom, and clarity. For instance, if we lose a job, instead of being consumed by fear, we can ask, "What can I learn from this experience? How can I grow from it?" This perspective helps us see setbacks as stepping stones toward personal development. Seneca, another Stoic, emphasized that it is not the man who has too little, but the one who craves more, that is poor. When we resist change, we often become attached to what we have or what we know, leading to stagnation. By embracing change, we free ourselves from these attachments and open ourselves to new possibilities. Stoics believe that our greatest strength lies in our ability to adapt. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the only constant in life is change. Instead of fearing the unknown, we can cultivate a mindset that welcomes it. This shift in perspective allows us to respond with courage and wisdom rather than panic and resistance. Moreover, embracing change often leads to a deeper understanding of our values and purpose. When life challenges us, we are forced to reflect on what truly matters. We may discover new goals, refine our priorities, and align our actions with our highest ideals. Number 9, learn the power of saying no. In a world filled with endless demands and distractions, the ability to say no is one of the most empowering habits you can develop. The Stoics, like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, understood that our time and energy are finite resources. By saying yes to everything, we risk spreading ourselves too thin and losing focus on what truly matters. The ability to say no, therefore, is not just a tool for self-preservation, but a means of living a life that aligns with your values and priorities. Epictetus reminds us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. This wisdom encourages us to prioritize what truly matters and to resist the urge to please everyone or meet every demand placed upon us. By learning to say no to distractions and unnecessary obligations, we create space for what truly enriches our lives. For instance, imagine being asked to take on an extra project at work. You may feel pressure to say yes out of fear of disappointing others. However, by assessing whether the task aligns with your goals and current capacity, you can protect your energy and focus on what truly matters. Saying no isn't about rejecting people or opportunities. It's about redirecting your efforts toward what aligns with your priorities. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of controlling what's within our power. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." By mastering the ability to say no, we reclaim control over our time and choices instead of being swept along by the expectations of others. To make saying no easier, practice clear and respectful communication. Instead of simply saying, "I can't," try, "I'd love to help, but I'm currently focused on other priorities." This approach shows consideration while reinforcing your boundaries. Saying no also applies to internal distractions. By declining habits or thought patterns that pull you away from your goals, like procrastination or excessive overthinking, you can stay focused and aligned with your intentions. Number 10, bounce back stronger. Every time life will inevitably knock you down at some point, whether through setbacks, failures, or unexpected challenges. The real measure of your character lies in how you rise from these moments. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, believed that setbacks are not obstacles to avoid, but opportunities for growth. They teach us that adversity, when faced with the right mindset, can strengthen our resilience and lead us to greater wisdom. Resilience isn't about avoiding failure, it's about how we respond to it. When we encounter a setback, we have two choices: let it define us or refine us. The Stoic approach encourages us to view obstacles as stepping stones rather than insurmountable barriers. Each challenge presents a chance to learn, adapt, and grow stronger. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." To cultivate resilience, start by shifting your perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" This mindset helps you focus on growth rather than defeat. For example, if you didn't achieve a goal, instead of dwelling on what went wrong, consider what you can do differently. Perhaps the plan was flawed or external circumstances shifted unexpectedly. By reflecting on these lessons, you can refine your approach and improve in the future. Breaking setbacks into smaller, manageable steps also builds resilience. When faced with overwhelming challenges, focus on one action at a time. This prevents paralysis and restores a sense of control. For instance, if you miss a deadline, instead of feeling defeated, create a plan to manage your time better and set check-ins to stay on track. The Stoics also emphasize patience. Seneca reminds us, "Time heals what reason cannot." Sometimes bouncing back requires giving yourself space to process emotions, acknowledge your efforts, and heal. Self-compassion is key. Don't be too hard on yourself when things don't go as planned.